Hello, good morning students. Welcome back to the 6th lecture of maths of class 10th. Now in this lecture, before we go to exercise 1.3, we have to discuss two important theorems regarding this exercise. Now in this exercise, the important theorem is 1.3 and 1.4. So first we will discuss 1.3. It is that let P be a prime numbers if P divides A square, then P divides A where A is a positive integer. So this is given that P be the prime number if P divides A square. Prime factorization you know. So by this way you can find out the prime numbers or prime factorization. So it says that if P divides A square, then P divides A also, where A is positive integer. So first of all, we have to consider that let the prime factorization of A be as follows over here. So we can write A is equal to P1, P2, P3, Pn. Okay, where P1, P2, Pn are prime numbers, okay, or primes. Now if we square both sides, now you can write here, now squaring both sides, we get here A square is equal to P1, P2, P3, Pn square. So we can again write here that A square is equal to P1 square P2 square P3 square Pn, or this. Now we can here write in two separate ways, right? This will be the square, or we can write here by removing this square, not putting a square, we can write this same number two times. So let's see. So I'm rubbing. So we can write here, or here A square as here P1, P2, P3, Pn into again this P1, P2, P3, Pn. Because we have written this square number means two times the same number. So we have written A square is equal to here. Instead of this, we can write, okay, so P1, P2, P3 Pn, P1, P2, P3 to Pn. Two times we have written. So this writing of two times, it means A square you can write here, again A square is equal to, we can write this number as P1, P2, Pn square. Okay, it means we are given here that P divides, we are already given in the theorem that P divides A square, then P divides A square. Then from the fundamental theorem of mathematics or fundamental theorem of arithmetic, it is clear that it follows that P is also one of the prime factor of a square. P is also one of the factor because P can divide here a square. You can write here P1, P2. So P1 can come below. So it means that P also divides a square. So we can write here that we are given that P divides a square, then from fundamental theorem of arithmetic, FTA, fundamental theorem of arithmetic, it follows that P is one of the prime factors of a square. Prime factors of a square. You can say that P1, P2, P dot n square is one of the prime factors of a square also, because P is going to divide a square. So we can write here a square upon P1 square. So it means that this P is one of the factor of the prime factors of a square. So here we can write that a square is equal to P1 square, P2 square, Pn square. Okay, so in bracket we can write that P square divides, or P1 square divides this a square. In similar way, we can write A is equal to P1, P2, Pn. So in bracket we can write P divides A. P divides A. So this theorem, this proof is based on the technique that is called as the proof of contradiction. Proof of contradiction. We will come to know that how it is a proof of contradiction in if we go to prove that root 2, root 5 is a irrational number. So this theorem has been proved on the basis of proof of contradiction. So we can write here hence this theorem has been proved or it is called, you can also write that this theorem is based on the technique of proof of contradiction. Proof of contradiction, or this proof is based on the proof of contradiction. This proof is also based on the proof of contradiction. So the proof is based on the technique called proof of contradiction. So this is theorem number 1.3. Now coming to the theorem number 1.4 that prove that root 2 is irrational number. Okay, so let's see that. So theorem number 1.4. It is given that prove that root 2 is irrational number. Okay, so before we start this, we have to assume this root 2 as a contrary that it is a rational number. We have to assume this root 2 as a contrary, as a rational number. So let's start the solution or proof. We can say, or we can write here that let us assume or consider a contrary that root 2 is a rational number. Okay, root 2 is a rational number. So you know that rational number can be written in the form of P by Q. That is, so let's see that root 2 is equal to A by B. Okay, so we have taken that this root 2 is a rational number that can be written in the form of P by Q, or we can take here any numbers as A by B. Okay, so where we can write here that A and B are co-primes. Co-primes means whose HCF is only 1. Means if you take the HCF of this B and A, you will find HCF as 1. So they are called as co-prime numbers. Now this is root 2 is equal to A by B. Now we have to square on both sides. First we have to square this both sides, or squaring both sides we will get, now we can write here squaring both sides. So on squaring both sides you will get root 2 square is equal to A by B square. Okay, so we will get here 2 2 is equal to, it will be A square upon B square. Okay, so if you square these irrational root numbers, only the root is removed and you will get 2. So it will be A square and B square. Then after we will cross multiply it. So after cross multiplying, what we get? So if you cross multiply, you will get here 2b square is equal to a square. 2b square is equal to a square. So now we will use theorem 1.3 over here. It means that this 2b square is equal to a square, it means a square is divisible by 5, or we have taken here 2. So we write that a square is divisible by 2. We can write here a square is divisible by 2. Okay. If it would be root 5, we can take, it will be 5. So we will take that root 5 square will be 5. So 5b square. So we will write a square is divisible by 5. Correct? So here a square is divisible by 2. So in similar way, we can write here that here a square is divisible by 2. So a is also divisible by 2. So a is also divisible by 2. This is the theorem 1.3 we are using over here. So we can take it as a 1, equation 1. Now here we have taken 2b square is equal to a square. Now it is equation 1. Now we will suppose that we can take a is equal to here 2c. A is equal to 2c, where we can indicate that c is an integer. C is an integer. Okay. So again, what we get here? So we will get here that a is equal to 2c. So on the place of a, we will write here 2b square is equal to, on a square place we will take 2c and a square. So 2c square. Okay. So it will be now 2b square is equal to 4c square. Okay. Now this, from the 2 we can cancel, or you can take it in division and cancel. So it will be 4 upon 2, so 2 to 4. So we are just cancelling over here, so 2 2s are 4. So here you will get b square is equal to 2c square. So we just rub it. So we get here b square is equal to 2c square. Again, similar to this process, similar to this, or according to 1.3 theorem, you can write again here that b square divides 2, right? So we can also write here also that b square is divisible by 2. Hence b is also divisible by 2. Okay. So we can take it equation number 2. Is it clear? Now comparing, by taking this equation number 1 and equation number 2, we come to the conclusion that it has a factor. It has a factor. So coming to the conclusion, from equation 1 and equation 2, we can say that a and b both are having common factor as 2. Correct? So I am rubbing. So you can write by equation 1 and equation 2, we come to the conclusion that A and B have common factor 2, right? Because here b square is divisible by 2, so b is also divisible by 2. In equation 1, a is divisible by 2, a square is divisible by 2, so a is also divisible by 2. So from equation 1 and 2 we can say that these both b and a have a common factor 2. Okay, so if it is common factor 2, then we are coming to the conclusion that root 2 is a rational number. But we have assumed this as a contrary, means we have assumed this as a incorrect means. So we can write here that this contradiction is arisen because of our incorrect assumption. Because we had considered at the top that root 2 is a rational number. Okay, so this root 2 is a rational number which we had written in the form of p by q. So this result has occurred, or contradiction has arisen because of our incorrect assumption. We have considered it incorrectly that root 2 is a rational number. So from this we can say now, hence, so we can say that root 2 is an irrational number. Okay, we are coming to the conclusion and this is our proof. Now this is theorem number 1 and theorem number 1.3 and theorem number 1.4. Now in our exercise there is given exercise. Let's see the exercise what is given in that. So in exercise it is given that prove that, first question is prove that root 2 exercise 1.3 question number 1. Prove that root 5 is irrational number. Okay, so this proof can be also proved on the basis of the theorem 1.4 whatever we did. We can prove any rational numbers like 7, right, 5, like 2, like 3 in the similar pattern. There is no changes at all. So there will be only change while squaring this. You will get here 5, you will get 7 instead of if it is root 7. You will get root 3 if it is, you will get 3. So again we can come to the conclusion, come to the proof first. Let us consider the contrary that, or contradiction that root 5 is a rational number. Okay, so if it is again rational number, you can write here, hence root 5 is equal to a by b, where in bracket you can write a and b are co-primes. Okay, a and b are co-primes. Co-primes, I told you that whose HCF is found to be 1, they are called co-primes number. Now squaring both sides, it's very easy if you understand once. Squaring on both sides, we get root 5 square is equal to a by b square. So we will get here root 5 square, we will get 5 is equal to a square upon b square. Okay, again I am dropping this. Again we can write here that it is 5b square is equal to a square. Again we come to the theorem 1.3, that is, so here we can write that a square means this, we can write here that 5 is divisible by a square. Okay, so sorry, it is, you can write that a square is divisible by 5. So here you can write that a square is divisible by 5. Hence, similarly, if you remove a square, you can write a. Hence, a is also divisible by 5. This is your equation 1. Now we can take here, we can take here a is equal to 5c. So we can write the same thing, 5b square, hence 5b square is equal to, we can write here 5b square is equal to a square. So on place of a square we are taking here 5. So we can write 5b square is equal to 5c square. Okay, so we will get here 5b square is equal to here 25c square. Again you can divide it. So 5 1 ja 5, 5 ja. So we can write here b square is equal to 5c square. So here we have taken, we can write here that c is an integer. C is an integer. Okay, we have, because we have assumed here a is equal to 5c where c is an integer. Now in the similar pattern as we have done in equation here 1, that a square is divisible by 5, in similar way you can write here that c square, this c square is also divisible by, b square is also divisible by 5. So we can write here b square is also here, b square is also, b square is divisible by 5. Hence b is also divisible by 5. This you can take it as equation 2. Okay. Now from this equation 1 and 2, you find that a and b are having common factor as 5. Okay. So if you are getting common factor 5, means it is not irrational but it is a rational. So we come to the conclusion that root 5 according to this proof comes that it is a rational. So we have assumed at the first that root 5 is a rational number, which is a contradiction. So again, I'm rubbing. Now we can write from equation 1 and equation 2, we can say that A and B have common factor as 5. Okay, means common factor as a 5. So we can say this common factor as a 5 we are getting because of our contradiction, because we have assumed the contrary, that root 5 is a rational number. So here this you can write, this contradiction is arisen because of our incorrect assumption. Hence you can write, hence root 5 is an irrational number. Okay, so in the next lecture, today we did this, so in the next lecture we will go for the question number 2 and 3. Okay, then after we will come to the exercise 1.4 and will complete very shortly this chapter. Till then you stay home, stay safe, okay, and keep learning.